How has the world's military power balance shifted in the hypersonic era? As we venture deeper into the 21st century, the landscape of warfare and military technology has been drastically altered by the advent of hypersonic weapons. These are missiles that travel at speeds greater than Mach 5, or 5 times the speed of sound. At the forefront of this hypersonic revolution is Russia, with its formidable ZIRCON missile. This hypersonic cruise missile, unlike others of its kind, uses a cooled supersonic combustion ramjet engine, or scramjet for short. This engine drives combustion by compressing air flowing at supersonic speeds due to the missile's forward motion. What does this mean? Well, in simple terms, the ZIRCON missile can travel at an astonishing speed of Mach 8, making it a formidable weapon that poses significant challenges to any air defense system. Now, let's take a closer look at the ZIRCON's capabilities. The missile is anticipated to work with the three S-14 vertical launch system, installed on the Grigorovich and Gorshkov classes, and the Kirov-class cruiser, Admiral Nakhimov. Beyond these frigates, the Yasen class of submarines, considered Russia's quietest, will reportedly also be armed with the ZIRCON. This new weapon has the potential to significantly challenge the supremacy of the U.S. Navy. Experts believe that Russian vessels equipped with ZIRCON hypersonic missiles would pose a real threat to U.S. aircraft carriers. The speed of the ZIRCON, coupled with its ability to alter its flight path, makes it nearly impossible to intercept by carrier group air defenses. However, it's also important to approach Russian assertions with a pinch of skepticism. There are still questions about the missile's effectiveness against mobile targets, and doubts about its imminent fielding by the Russian Navy. As we delve further into the ZIRCON's development, we realize that its potential deployment could mark a significant shift in global military power. As we continue our exploration of the hypersonic era, we'll delve deeper into the birth of the ZIRCON missile, its potential deployment, and the new era of deterrence it may usher in. Stay tuned. The birth of ZIRCON, a marvel of military technology, was not an overnight phenomenon. Indeed, the inception of this hypersonic missile, a product of Russia's relentless pursuit of military superiority, was a meticulous process that spanned several years. The ZIRCON missile, unlike its counterparts, uses a unique form of propulsion known as scramjet. This innovative system drives combustion by compressing air flowing at supersonic speeds due to the missile's forward motion. The result? A missile that can travel at speeds that are hard to fathom, let alone intercept. What makes ZIRCON even more intriguing is its anticipated compatibility with Russia's 3S-14 vertical launch system. This system is installed on various naval vessels, including the Grigorovich and Gorshkov classes and the Kirov-class cruiser, Admiral Nakhimov, which is presently undergoing modernization. But the ZIRCON's reach doesn't stop there. Russia's quietest submarine, the Yasen class, will reportedly be armed with the ZIRCON. This development could significantly alter the balance of power in the world's oceans. Picture this: by 2026, the first Project 885M, a Yasen M submarine armed with ZIRCON hypersonic missiles, could be operational within the Russian Navy. This would pose a substantial challenge to the U.S. Navy and indeed any naval force in the world. The ZIRCON's birth and development are an embodiment of Russia's unwavering commitment to military innovation. Its unique propulsion system, compatibility with various naval vessels, and potential submarine deployment make it a formidable weapon, one that could potentially redefine naval warfare as we know it. The ZIRCON's technological prowess is indeed impressive, but what about its potential deployment? Well, that's a story for our next segment. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the world of hypersonic missiles and the ZIRCON's potential impact on global military dynamics. The ZIRCON's potential deployment is a game-changer in the complex world of military strategy. In the chess game of global geopolitics, each move has its consequences, and ZIRCON is poised to be Russia's queen on the board. Imagine a fleet of Russian frigates and submarines, equipped with ZIRCON hypersonic missiles, shimmering beneath the ocean's surface. These vessels are not just any ordinary warships. They belong to the Grigorovich and Gorshkov classes, Russia's crowning jewels of naval warfare. Additionally, the Kirov-class cruiser, Admiral Nakhimov, currently under modernization, is also anticipated to be armed with this formidable weapon. But the ZIRCON's deployment doesn't stop at the seas. Russia's quietest submarine, the Yasin class, is also reported to be outfitted with the ZIRCON. This is a significant development, as the first Project 885M submarine armed with ZIRCON hypersonic missiles could become operational within the Russian Navy by 2026. This advancement, experts believe, poses a substantial challenge to the U.S. Navy's supremacy. Here's why. Russian vessels equipped with ZIRCON hypersonic missiles put the U.S. Navy's aircraft carriers at risk. The ZIRCON, with its near-impossible interception, challenges the air defenses of any carrier group. This missile isn't just fast, it's hypersonic. A destroyer's radar may pick it up at a low altitude of 12 to 14 nautical miles, but with ZIRCON's speed, the warship would have just over 15 seconds to respond. The ZIRCON's speed also makes it a potent attack vector against larger vessels. Why? Because kinetic energy is the single strongest predictor of lethality against large surface targets, even more so than warhead size. This means the impact of a hypersonic missile like ZIRCON can allow Russia to attack hardened, deep, and ground targets. But as with any strategy, there are potential hitches. For instance, the missile could face difficulties against mobile targets, and there's some skepticism about the rocket being fielded by the Russian Navy. Regardless, the possible deployment of ZIRCON-equipped frigates and submarines to far seas could be a strategic move by Russia to create effective deterrence against the United States and other NATO members. As we can see, the ZIRCON's deployment could potentially shake up the established power dynamics on the world's oceans. ZIRCON's deployment may usher in a new era of deterrence. The hypersonic age is not just about speed and range, it's about the strategic leverage it offers on the geopolitical chessboard. With ZIRCON, Russia could potentially hold a new card in its hand, a tool of deterrence against the United States and other NATO members. But what does this mean? Essentially, the presence of hypersonic weapons like ZIRCON could force these powerful nations to think twice before making aggressive moves. It's akin to a game of high-stakes poker, where the player with the most intimidating hand can influence the actions of others without even playing a single card. ZIRCON, with its formidable speed and evasive capabilities, could be that intimidating hand for Russia. However, it's crucial to remember that this is not a game and the stakes are incredibly high. The deployment of hypersonic weapons could drastically alter the dynamics of conflict and diplomacy, introducing new risks and uncertainties. It's a development that calls for careful navigation and robust international arms control measures. Now, it's important to note that not everyone is entirely convinced about the capabilities of the ZIRCON missile. Experts have advised a degree of skepticism when considering Russia's assertions. They've pointed out potential difficulties the missile might face against mobile targets, and even expressed doubts about the timeline for its deployment in the Russian Navy. Yet, regardless of these reservations, the ZIRCON missile has undeniably made waves in the military world. It's a sign of the times, an emblem of an era where the nature of warfare is evolving at a blistering pace. As we stand on the brink of the hypersonic era, the ZIRCON missile stands as a symbol of a rapidly changing military landscape. It's a potent reminder that in this new age of deterrence, the only constant is change, and the nations that adapt are the ones that will shape the future.